Welcome back. And actually, I decided to leave it because I'm going to reference it. I just drew this. We've already seen this before. There's your knife. So let's get into it. To be honest, I can really stop right here. And the reason why is because if you haven't already figured out the problem with dermaplaning, then yeah, I'm not sure what to say. And remember, I warned you that the tone would be different. I'm just going to go back to stuttering. I'm serious. There's no way to say this. It is absolutely impossible for you to scrape a razor. And the key is this. When you see what I've heard on YouTube as that scraping of the blade, the sloughing, that slurry is the word that's used. There's only one word, and it's I'm sorry, I have to call it like it is. This is what you are doing to your client's skin, period. You are completely, and I mean completely, removing the stratum corneum. Think about what happens to the skin after a chemical peel when you go in the sun. When you do a chemical peel, the acid does not remove the stratum corneum. It leaves it there. Over time, it will increase. Through the skin's natural ability to fight the destructive forces of the strength of the acid on top of the stratum corneum, will enable the skin to deflect the sun's rays and continue to protect your skin from the sun and other things as the exfoliation process continues to speed up as it relates to the strength of the acid and the pH of the acid. You, by doing dermaplaning, are removing the entire stratum corneum. And you are not even giving the proper post-peel protocol. I know you're not. For the client as they walk out. Because when they go from the salon to their car, what about the next day? The next day or the next day? How long does it take to completely renew the stratum corneum? Depends on one's genetics. But is it more than a couple of hours? A couple of days? Think about that question for a second. So what's happening is when you draw that knife, oh, and by the way, remember the other video where I talked about all the different types? Let's go ahead and put that right here, okay? Okay, we have blade. Let's call it a blade. Okay, straight edge, S, edge, and then we're going to go ahead and go with Bic razor. We're not going to do all the other ones. Which one is the sharpest? Straight edge. Is the Bic blade, is the Bic razor sharper than your blade? Maybe, maybe not. But here's the deal. For you to see the slurry and that scraping action, think of the pressure that you're putting on the skin. Now I want you to think about how thick you're scraping on it. 15 microns. The human hair is 100. So what is that? 5, 6, 7 times thicker? So as you completely remove the stratum corneum, you have completely removed nature's, our human body's ability to defend against everything. Most importantly, the sun. And here's something that no one ever talks about. What's happening as the skin feels the destruction of a chemical peel? More importantly, what happens when the skin feels the melanocyte cells and it gets red and the skin gets inflamed and it feels the destruction of the complete stratum corneum? Back to the blade. On your blade, it's not as sharp as a straight edge. Would I ever take a straight edge and run that across my face so that I could see slurry? You already know that you would never. Have you even ever used a straight edge? Because I have. It takes a man or a professional in school 90 times at a minimum on a balloon, literally a balloon, drag that straight edge. So how do they learn? They take a balloon, blow it up, they put shaving cream on it, and they shave with a straight edge. For me, I'm over 90. I'm at least into 150 shaves with a straight edge. And even after 150, I am scared to death. Not even kidding. It's that sharp. But you would never use that. So I want you to tell me, if I shave with a straight edge, am I ever going to see slurry? And to see slurry, what would happen? Would I cut myself? You see, because if the skin buckles in front of a straight edge razor, oh, and by the way, you're not going to see the buckle. It's going to cut you, bleed you, before you ever see the skin fold on itself and create that little lip right in front of the edge, and boom, blood. And it happens that fast, it's that simple. How come you never draw blood with that blade? How come you're not afraid to use that blade? Because it is not sharp. It is dull. And because it's dull, what do you have to do? You have to press harder and harder. Then, as you're trained and taught that you want to visually see the slurry, the skin cells, what are you actually seeing? My guess is you're actually going into this area right here. Why do you not see inflammation and redness? Why do you not see constant complaints from your clients? Because every client's skin is different. Every client's skin has the ability to fight, to show you visually how hard it's fighting by the inflammation. Some skin is stronger than others. We're all different. So don't tell me or debate me on, well, their skin didn't get red. Their skin didn't do this. No, that's just sensitive natures of our uniqueness. This is not unique. All of these numbers within a given parameter are scientifically proven across all Fitzpatrick scales. It's how we're built. So I'm not here talking about information that is coulda, woulda, shoulda on this person or that person. No, this is scientific. The redness and the way that the skin, or your one-off positive, right, versus your one-off horror story, and everything in between are the parameters of individuality and individual skin response to this assault on the surface of the skin. Also too, with the blade, have you looked at that blade under a microscope? Because remember, we're dealing with microns. So you can't say, well, I don't need to see the surface of the blade. because we're dealing with the skin. I can see what it's doing. I can see when I run it across it. No, micron to micron. What is going on at the micron level? Because that's what you're removing is the stratum corneum at the micron level. This blade here, you think it looks like that straight edge? No way. That straight edge blade looks, on a micron scale, looks, we're going to draw this so I don't run out of room. I'm going to exaggerate this a little bit. Okay? Looks like that. Is it solid, sharp? It is not. Not at the micron level. This is the straight edge. What does the blade that you're using look like under a microscope so that we can compare micron view to micron view? This is what yours looks like. Sharp, dull. What does the Bic look like? What's the point? It doesn't matter. When you look at it, it has those plastic little 1 millimeter little edges on it to keep it as a safety razor. Okay, remember we talked about that in the other video? Well, here we're showing a direct representation of a micron view. See, the whole view needs to come down to a micron. You can't say, well, here is not a micron because I can see it and I know what I'm doing and blah, blah, blah. No, that's not true. This is the skin. It is formed and measured in microns. So everything you touch to the skin, everything you put on the skin also is measured by the micron.